Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemist session. In this, we are discussing about a chapter classification of elements and the periodic table. In this session, we are going to see about Mendeleev's periodic table. In the earlier sessions, we have seen some earlier classifications where scientists they have tried to classify the elements into different groups and batches. Now we are going to see about Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev arranged the elements known at the time in a chart in a systematic order in the increasing order of their atomic weights. He divided the chart into 8 vertical columns known as groups. Each group is divided into A and B subgroups. So what he has done? He written all the available elements on the small cards and he arranged those cards in the increasing order of their atomic weights. Then the elements which are getting the similar chemical properties are written one down to another. That after arrangement, he found totally elements are arranged in the 88 vertical columns. He called those as groups, and each group is subdivided into two subgroups A and B. Each column contained elements of similar chemical properties. It is said that elements in a group have similar properties and elements along periods have different properties. So, when elements are written in the increasing order of their atomic weights, the elements with the similar chemical properties are written in one column. So, that column he called as one group. Now, we can say the elements in a group are having similar chemical properties and the elements in a period may have different properties. The periodic law. Based on Mendeleev's observations regarding the properties of the elements in the periodic table, a law known as periodic law of the properties of elements was proposed by him. So, it states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic weights. So, he stated a periodic law based upon the observations given from his periodic table. He given a law. That law states that the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic weights. That means when elements are written in the increasing order of their atomic weights, all the elements when they are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic weights, the physical and chemical properties of the elements are being repeated periodically among the elements. So, that is the meaning of this law which was given by Mendeleev. So, we call this as Mendeleev's periodic law. Periodicity means we know repetition. That means when elements are written in the increasing order of their atomic weights, the physical and chemical properties are being repeated periodically among the elements. So, the elements which are getting periodically the similar chemical properties, he written one down to other in one column. Those all elements he called as one group elements. So, the element present in one group will be having now similar chemical properties. In that way, totally he arranged all the available elements in 8 vertical columns which he called as groups. Let us see here the Mendeleev's periodic table. So, this is a Mendeleev's periodic table which contains totally 8 vertical columns. You can observe here. So, each vertical column is called one group. First group, second group, third group till 8th group. Okay, this is Mendeleev's periodic table. Each group is called now each column is called a group now. This is one group, and in this there are two subgroups A and B. The subgroup A, subgroup B. Okay, this is Mendeleev's periodic table which contains 8 vertical columns called groups. Each group again contains two subgroups A and B. Okay, these horizontal rows are called as periods. In periods, elements are having different properties and the elements present in one group are having similar chemical properties. Now, let us see the salient features and achievements of this Mendeleev's periodic table. One among them is groups and subgroups. There are 8 vertical columns in the Mendeleev's periodic table called groups. They are represented by Roman numerals 1 to 8. Elements present in a given vertical column have similar properties. Each group is divided into two subgroups A and B. The elements within any subgroup resemble one another to a great extent. Okay, the elements present in one group will be having generally similar chemical properties, and here each group is subdivided into two subgroups A and B. The elements present in one subgroup will be having almost similar chemical properties. For example, subgroup 1A, that means first subgroup A subgroup, called alkali metals, namely lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium, resemble each other very much. Almost these all elements are having similar chemical properties, isn't it? Yes, these all are alkali metals, they exhibit similar chemical properties. So these all kept in one subgroup, that is 1A. In that way, that subgroup division gave much clarity at the properties of the elements to understand them very easily. Next, periods. The horizontal rows in the Mendeleev's periodic table are called periods. There are 7 periods in that periodic table, which are denoted by Arabic numbers 1 to 7. Elements in a period differ in their properties from one to another. So there is no similarity between the properties of the elements in a period from left to right. There is no comparison, but only there is comparison between the elements properties in a group. So a period comprises the entire range of elements after which properties repeat themselves. Yes, in a period elements are written in the increasing order of their atomic weights, where some other element is being repeated with the same properties with certain element. Then it is written down to one other element again. It is continued in that way. Okay. And third asset is predicting the properties of missing elements. Is very important and interesting here. Based on the arrangement of the elements in the periodic table, he predicted that some elements were missing and left blank spaces at the appropriate places in the periodic table. So he suspected that some other elements to be found still. So for them he assumed like that, and he left some blanks also in his periodic table, as there are some other elements to be found. Mendeleev believed that some new elements would be discovered definitely. So for those elements which they are going to discover in the future, he left some blanks in his periodic table. He predicted the properties of these new elements. So not only expecting new elements, he predicted the properties of those unknown elements also. That is the greatness of the Mendeleev's periodic table. He predicted the properties of these new additional elements in advance, purely depending upon his periodic table. His predicted properties were almost the same as the observed properties of those elements after their discovery. This is greatness here of Mendeleev. What he did? He predicted that he expected that some new elements to be found still. So for those new elements which are going to be discovered in the future, he left some blanks in his periodic table. Not only leaving the blanks in his table, he predicted the properties of those elements also based upon his periodic table. So how he predicted the properties? Interestingly, those new elements which were discovered later to him are having almost similar properties whatever he predicted. He named those elements, not only predicting the properties, he named those elements also tentatively by adding the prefix eka. Eka is a Sanskrit word for numeral one or same. So to the name of the element immediately above each empty space. So for the elements which are going to be discovered in the future, he left some blanks in his periodic table, and he predicted the properties of those elements, and he named those elements also before their discovery by giving eka at the prefix place, and the name of the element which is above that blank is added to this eka. That means similar to this element. See, eka representing one or same. Let us see some examples you can understand. The predicted properties of elements, namely eka boron, Eka aluminum and Eka silicon were almost same as those of scandium, gallium and germanium respectively, which were discovered later. So he left 3 blanks in his periodic table and 1 down to boron. So he called that he named that element which is not yet discovered as Eka boron. Means Eka representing here 1 or same, and Eka boron means the element which is having similar chemical properties to that of boron, similar to boron, simply to say. In the same way, similar to aluminum, it is called Eka aluminum. And one more blank he left down to silicon, and he named it as Eka silicon. That means similar to silicon. And later on they have discovered those elements for which he left blanks. Those elements were named later as scandium, gallium and germanium. So this scandium is having almost similar properties to that of Eka boron element, which was predicted by Mendeleev, and gallium is having similar properties to that of Eka aluminum. Similarly, germanium, which is resembling the properties of Eka silicon, which was predicted by Mendeleev. Okay. Do you know what Mendeleev said about the melting point of Eka aluminum? Yeah, it is one more interesting point here about Eka aluminum, which we are calling now as gallium. Gallium is actually a solid metal, but if I hold it in my hand, it will melt. So Mendeleev told about Eka aluminum or gallium as, if I hold it in my hand, it will melt like a magic, because actually gallium is a metal at room temperature, but if it is heated to a temperature above 30 degrees Celsius temperature, it starts melting. Okay, the melting point, because the melting point of gallium or Eka aluminum is 30 degrees, 30.2 degrees Celsius temperature. We know our body temperature will be around 37 degrees. So if you take a small piece of gallium into your palm or hand, it starts melting because it is crossing its melting point. So we can say gallium is a solid at room temperature, but it starts melting just above the room temperature. But at normal temperature there is already existing one liquid metal. What is that? We know as it is mercury. And the next element which converts into liquid at very low temperatures is gallium, that has melting point just above the 30 degrees Celsius temperature. So this was found by Mendeleev. So he told that if I hold in my hand this gallium starts melting. Next feature in this Mendeleev's periodic table is the correction of atomic weights. The placement of elements in Mendeleev's periodic table helped in correcting the atomic masses of some elements like beryllium, indium and gold. For example, at the time of Mendeleev, beryllium was given atomic weight 13.5. So we know atomic weight is equal to equivalent weight into valency. The equivalent weight of beryllium was found experimentally as 4.5 and its valency was thought as 3. So they thought it in the wrong way. So it was taken as 3 at the earlier days. So therefore the atomic weight of beryllium was given as 4.5 into 3, that is equal to 13.5. With this atomic weight, it had to be placed in a wrong group in the periodic table, because in his periodic table elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic weights. With the wrong atomic weight, beryllium could be placed in the wrong position in this table. He said that its valency should be only 2, then its atomic weight will be 9. If atomic weight of beryllium is 9, it would fit in the second group and its properties practically are similar to magnesium, calcium, etc. So based upon the chemical properties and the placement in the periodic table, he expected its atomic weight and he corrected the atomic weight of beryllium. It is not 13.5, it is to be 9 and its valency should be 2. In this way he predicted its valency and he corrected its atomic weight, and it is fit in the second group where its properties are being completely syncing with or being similar with other elements in that. like magnesium and calcium. In that way, its atomic weight is corrected. He also helped in the calculation of the correct atomic weights of indium and gold in this manner. In the similar way, he corrected the atomic weights of indium and gold. So, based upon the position of those elements in the periodic table and the properties of those elements, he corrected their atomic weights from the expected. Right? So, and one more, anomalous series. Some anomalous series of elements like tellurium and iodine were observed in the periodic table. The anomalous series contain elements with more atomic weight like tellurium placed before the elements with less atomic weight like iodine. This we can say actually one of the drawbacks also we can say, because here he did not follow his principle, that is increasing order of atomic weights at certain elements like tellurium and iodine. He didn't follow that principle. He written them in the reverse way to fit them in certain groups with the similar chemical properties with other elements. So, he written element tellurium which is having greater atomic weight than iodine, but he written that first to iodine. Mendeleev accepted minor inversions in the order of increasing atomic weights, as these inversions resulted in elements being placed in the correct groups. So, to fit them into correct groups with the similar chemical properties, he accepted minor inversions like writing the element with the greater atomic weight first, whereas the all remaining elements in this table were written in the increasing order of their atomic weights. So, it was the extraordinary thinking of Mendeleev that the chemist to accept the periodic table and recognize Mendeleev more than anyone else as the originator of periodic law. So, he was accepted by almost all the chemists, and this periodic table also accepted. And one more greatness of this is the first periodic table which could arrange all the available elements at that time which were discovered. Almost all the elements were fit into this periodic table. Okay. At the time when Mendeleev introduced his periodic table, even electrons were not discovered. Yes, even they don't know about the electrons and subatomic particles. They know as atoms as the smallest particles. Even then, the periodic table was able to provide a scientific base for the study of chemistry of elements. So, without knowing about the fundamental particles like electrons, protons, and these all, without knowing the arrangement of electrons inside the atoms, he predicted the chemical properties of the elements and he segregated them into groups and periods. That is the greatness of this. That is why we say Mendeleev as the father of periodic table. So, in his honor, 101th element was named Mendeleevium. So, to honor his greatness, 101 element is named as Mendeleevium to honor him. Of course, as it is one of the greatest prediction, but there are some limitations in the periodic table which was given by Mendeleev. One of them is anomalous pairs of elements, as we told now, as he followed that principle that increasing order of atomic weights of the elements, but at certain pairs of elements to fit them in the correct order, to fit them into the exact groups the similar chemical properties. He did not follow his principle at a certain pairs of elements. Just now we have seen one, it is tellurium and iodine. So, there he written the element with the greater atomic weight first and then the lighter element. So, those pairs of elements where he did not follow his principle are called as anomalous pairs of elements. For example, tellurium and iodine, just now we told. See, here tellurium has greater atomic weight than iodine, but it is written first to fit into the group where its properties are being similar with the other elements. Okay. One more, dissimilar elements placed together. There is one more confusion. Elements with the dissimilar properties are placed in same group as subgroup A and subgroup B. For example, alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium are of 1A group have little resemblance with the coinage metals like copper, silver, gold of 1B group. Actually, these all come under first group elements. Of course, two subgroups. But the elements of first A group like lithium, sodium, potassium, which are called alkali metals, which are very highly reactive metals. Whereas if you see the elements present in the 1B group, copper, silver, gold, least reactive metals, so they have very less resemblance, but they are kept in one column. This is one of the disadvantages. So similarly, if you see chlorine of 7th A group and manganese of 7th B group, these two are in the same group, 7th group. Of course, they are in two subgroups A and B, but these do not have any resemblance in their properties, where chlorine is a non-metal and manganese is a metal, but both are in the same 7th group. So this is one of the disadvantages in the Mendeleev's periodic table. Elements with the dissimilar properties kept in one group. Okay, that is about Mendeleev's periodic table. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today for latest updates on recorded videos.